Hello, I'm Laura Betts, and I'm a data systems architect at Cross IT, and I want to take a moment to talk about the 2017 FileMaker DevCon. One of the things that I mostly got asked about FileMaker DevCon was how long is the conference? Now, the schedule this year is different than other years, being that Monday was training day that was followed by the opening keynote, followed by the welcome reception, which you could see the exhibitors for the first time. The next 2 days were a regular conference with all the sessions, Tuesday night being the FileMaker party that they usually have, this time at the Lazy River at the JW Marriott. And Wednesday, instead of a closing keynote, they had the Excellence Awards. And then on Thursday, they had FBA Day, which you could go if you were registered for FileMaker DevCon and part of the FileMaker Business Alliance. Now, being that training day was optional, and also the FBA Day, whether you're in the Business Alliance and decide to stay, depends on the length of the conference. I personally got in there Sunday night and left Friday morning, so I was there for most of the time. Even though I didn't participate in the training day, I did help set up a booth that we had on Monday. So why is this different? It's different because some people have complained in the past that either FileMaker DevCon was either too much money or was too long and taking them too far to work, because some people come on their own time and money and not have their companies pay for them. So how does this differ from last year? Here's some numbers. Last year, full registration without the early bird or anything like that was $2,095, unlike this year, which was $1,099. Training day last year was $200, and then this year was $399. Last year, if you wanted to be an exhibitor, that's $2,500. This year was $1,999. But if you were an exhibitor last year, you could get a full registration for $995. So another specific example is if you registered and are an exhibitor, that would be $3,495. And for this year, which they didn't seem to have a separate registration for exhibitors, so it's about the same, which would be $3,098, being a difference about $400, which means you could afford at least one person to go to training day. So did this cause more people to come? Yes. Last year there was around 1,500 people, and this year they've gotten more attendees than they ever gotten at FileMaker DevCon, and that's 1,600. So about 100 people more. Whether that it is what FileMaker was looking for, I'm not really sure. Since the DevCon full days that everybody can attend to is now 2 instead of 3 or 4, how did they fit about the same amount of sessions as they usually did? Well, the format was changed, that they had a couple of sessions that were an hour long instead of an hour 15. The lunch was an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. Then at 2:15 they would have half-hour sessions with 1 half-hour refresher and break at 3:15. With that, it does approximately get about the same amount of sessions. It's a little bit differently formatted for the training and the FBA day, though. The FBA being different, they had a keynote, hour-long session, an hour-and-a-half lunch, another hour-long session, half-hour session, half-hour refresher break, and then an hour-long session, and then nothing closing at the end of it. Another thing I would like to highlight is when you first got there and registered and got your stuff, this is what you got. Of course, your name tag, a couple beverage tickets, license for FileMaker, a card to come visit their booth to talk to the SBA team, and a over-the-shoulder bag that has a couple of different pockets, some for pens, another smaller pocket, and then another pocket on the side for a drink. Now, you might notice when I told you about this, a few things were a little bit different, one being the tags, which, a lot like last year, you have these things that stick onto it, which you chose and that they didn't give to you, but They were not double-sided, and the name tags tended to go like this. And then it would be blank. Some people found ways to try to get around it, but ultimately that's happened to everybody once in a while, and they had to keep checking to correct that. Another thing being different is that they didn't give any shirts away. I know that some people are excited shirts because that's kind of what they like to wear during FileMaker DevCon, and then they can automatically know some things about other people and come up and talk to them about FileMaker, especially if they're not wearing their name tag. They know they can talk about FileMaker, be like, hey, cool shirt, and communicate like that. So this might be a little bit upsetting to some people. Why the cutbacks? Probably so that they could reduce the price for DevCon for different people. What did I personally think of FileMaker DevCon? Well, like I said, we had a booth this year, and that's the first time we had a booth, so a lot of things were different because of that. I spent a good amount of time there, which we showed off several of our vertical market solutions, our main one being Sold Now, a help desk solution, a couple others, one being a site manager, another one being a form or survey editor and creator. It was great to show these things off to different people that we wouldn't have if we didn't have a booth. I also was part of the Women of FileMaker, so they obviously also had their luncheon that was in the schedule this year, much like it was last year as well, even though they've done it years before. And also, they had a booth for the first time, so I volunteered there as well. Being that there's all these different changes, it was hard to say whether I liked the new format of FileMaker DevCon or not, but I'd be interested to see what other people would say about it. I know that some of the regulars that like to see other people would definitely come back, but it'd be interesting to see if newcomers got as much information about, or if that's the reason why they came, was because it was shorter and cheaper. I think the biggest shocker that happened at FileMaker DevCon is that they didn't announce the location for the next FileMaker DevCon. This is because, as they explained, that they didn't get everything settled yet. But once they do, they will post it on the community website. So if you want to know where the next location is as soon as possible, you'll have to keep watch on the FileMaker community websites. In any case, overall, I enjoyed FileMaker DevCon, and I hope other people that went there enjoyed it as well. The community of FileMaker is a very nice and very giving and open type of community, and it's just great to interact with people there. In any case, thank you for watching. If you want to see more, click subscribe for any updates. Also follow us on social media, Twitter at CrossNinjas, on Facebook at CrossIT Solutions, or on LinkedIn. And make sure you have notifications on to receive the updates in your email. And please feel free to leave comments about the 2017 FileMaker DevCon, and we may use it in the next video. Again, thank you for watching.